Just going to make sure that everything works proper. So I can't actually say the name of the anime that we watched in the title of our Twitch because of Jeff Bezos's fucking like morality police not letting me say the name of this show. So apparently, according to Twitch, we watched Fatherless Child.
Oh.
That's a country twist on Bastard, more than a middle one.
Does Amazon own Twitch?
Yeah, they've owned Twitch for a while.
That's
Things
Bluegrass Bastard, Fatherless Child.
But yes, on the stream we watched Fatherless Child, but we actually watched 12 episodes, and that's all we will watch, Marlon. I'll
watch it on my own.
Of Bastard.
I'll finish it myself.
You give your life to that show. You can. I will ritually sacrifice you on whatever altar that was.
I am absolutely convinced that I ended up in like a weird Mandela effect because when I first looked at the show, I was like, oh, season 1, 12 episodes. This is doable. And then when I was tired of the show after episode 4, suddenly I go to Netflix and 24 episodes. How did these show up?
I was like, 12 episodes season 1, and it was like 24. I guess we're leaving on
new viewers,
which we did. Goes to show. I don't know where it goes from here, nor do I care.
Yeah, Joe, you cut out Chainsaw Man early, but this you're just in for the long haul, I guess.
I regret. I don't know how. Maybe it's just like that Howard Stern, like I hate him, but I need to hear what he says next, and it was just like that. Like maybe it was the other one. It was like Ashley was so vehement, like just the. Again, thank you. The 10 seconds she saw where she got mortified and wanted to just kick me straight in the nuts and said, like, I do not want your name publicly associated with this show. So just as a mild form of rebellion, just be like, maybe I just need to.
What are you fucking doing? Running for Congress? Like, who cares?
Did I suggest this show? Because I'm proud. I feel real good now.
I will say,
what I wanted.
Marlon, to give you credit, I will say it's memorable, but I did not like this.
Yeah, it is memorable.
You didn't like it.
It is the most.
Like it. This is for me. This is all for me.
I will say this might be the most memorable thing we've seen since Grave of the Fireflies.
In a good way.
I understand in anime it's 1-to-1. Like they say, if you watch one, you need to watch the other. Just pure art. Like Miyazaki, right up there with whoever the fuck made this.
You can use it as a chaser.
This has just as much to say as Perfect Blue. You're right, Tony. What a commentary on society. That way to go, bastard.
Yes, the commentary of Bastard is anime was a mistake.
It's taking it back to its roots. Back when anime was not something you could watch with your parents, and you had to keep it hidden in the wrong VHS box.
This is what I said to Tony. This show is like when somebody calls you something enough times, you either rebel against it or you embrace it. This show is completely embracing it. People think we watch anime, they think it's this. All right, why? Let's go all in for what we want it and what we fantasize it to be.
Pretty much, if you watch anime, you must be some kind of perv. Well, gotta give the people what they want. Here's Bastard for 2 seasons.
There's 15-year-old me. Like, what's the best thing? Make me all powerful. A super wizard James Bond that's cut to the core. Oh, yeah.
See, Tony and I have been playing Midnight Suns, and in that game, it's everybody wants to be your best friend. This show is everybody wants to fuck you. Every single character wants to sleep with you.
No. Not everybody. Like, maybe it's the problem is they all like play it off like, no, don't touch me. And then he grabs their boob and is like,
They're all big
I
hard
can't
to
fight
get.
it anymore.
You just gotta grab them sometimes. It's just slightly rapey, and it kind of like, yeah, that's
Slightly.
That's that is Reagan era
Like,
rapey.
hey, we're about to fight to the death because we are mortal enemies. But you grab my tit. Oh.
Yeah, that's just the weak spot.
Just
Sometimes
when-
you just gotta grab her tit.
When he talks to Elf Lady and he's like, I was basically your father, and then just gropes her while she says no. It's like, oh, this is a great show to watch at 11 o'clock.
Wait, at night or during the day?
At
Because
night.
there is a difference.
Tony and Joe have families. They can't be watching. I can watch this sometime.
Watch whatever you want, but like,
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, but again, it's like, I mean, I didn't stop watching Game of Thrones when my mom and wife walked in on me when Joffrey's abusing the prostitutes at the one episode. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that is what it is. Like what does Tina think of this show, Tony? Now I need to know because Ashley hates it with her core.
I had her watch one episode, and it was the episode, I believe, right after he like seduces the one lady who's like second to the elf lady. The
blonde, the one that had him attack of a spider.
Yeah. And the one where it's just like, oh, it's the one where like he thinks that it's a dude fighting him, and then it just turns out to be a hot lady. She watched that episode. And
did you? So when you say you had her watch it, did you say you got to see this, or so actually like let me turn this on for you, or was it like, hey, I need to watch this show? Do you mind? You're in the room.
It was kind of both. It was effectively like, this show is giving me pain. You need to at least watch an episode.
Mutual suffering, I guess.
Sustenance. I require more.
Oh.
And my
the Game of Thrones comparison, at least I feel like you could justify Game of Thrones with like the cast and the actors, and like you could say it's well written. It's art. This is just straight up smut, so I can't really justify.
And the music sucks. You say it's heavy metal. The music's terrible. That opening. Maybe it's because we had the last
one.
You
like freaking Stray.
Where the young blood was really good.
You unironically enjoy Stray. You cannot say anything.
Stray is much better than.
It is not.
I will say that Stray is better than off-brand Falling in Reverse. Because
I disagree hard.
Because why do you want to be an off-brand version of Ronnie Radke?
Maybe it was before the allegations. I don't know. But didn't know yet.
I'm convinced that Soraya, formerly Paige, actually broke up with him because she finally realized that he was the lead singer of Falling in Reverse.
He discovered Google. Yeah.
Just avoiding his music and then just listen. It's like, fine, I'll listen to it. It's like, oh, I can't be in this relationship anymore. 5 years down the tubes.
So, Marlon, just help me with the premise, because this was the first part that's always tough to get past. Okay. We are in a normal, modern society.
Yes.
And then the darkness happens. Just the darkness shows up.
The darkness shows up.
They try to fight it and they lose. Okay. So suddenly the world goes 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
And it is magic and elves and wizards.
Because we can't use tech anymore because they kind of blew all that up. So we started over back in the Dark Ages, but it's like the futuristic Dark Ages.
And then we also don't mention it at all for the remainder of the show.
Right. It's just we need to set up the landscape. That's all they did. And apparently that one Dark One is coming back later. I guess she's the main baddie.
This is why you both cannot give me crap about all the set building in Dune and all of the exposition. Good Lord.
I love Dune.
Guy was only there for exposition. Like those last 3 episodes 10 through 12, where he's fighting Nay. And it's like he's explaining oh, now he's using this attack and he's doing this for this reason. And no, watch yourself, Dark Spider.
It's so cheesy.
Wanted to choke everyone associated with that goddamn show. His dialogue is terrible. It is everything I hate. Like, maybe it's called bastard because, like you said, roughly translated everything how they speak in Japan translates to bastard when you translate it to English. I don't know, but it was, I'm gonna get you, you bastard! You're an idiot!
Yeah,
You're a
it's called
moron!
branding.
Yeah.
I say the name of the show like every episode, so that you remember what you're watching. You're watching Bastard.
It's bad.
It's like how in every episode of Peacemaker, he has to say, "I'm the Peacemaker," so you remember you're watching Peacemaker. It's the same thing.
Oh.
So I can't be down on the show completely because I try to meet shows on their level, and Bastard is a very low bar that it's trying to clear, and it doesn't.
Yes.
But
I met it in a puddle. Cool. I didn't meet it in the stream. I didn't meet it in the ocean. I didn't even meet it in the pond.
It is.
I met it in a puddle by the school.
Yep, it's sitting below sea level. The levees have broken. Water's coming in. But I can at least appreciate like lovingly rendered like hot anime ladies. Like I applaud you. You've made some good anime ladies. But I've legitimately seen hentai, anime porn that is better written than this show. And that makes me very sad.
I disagree. I feel like it's doing what it set out to do. I feel like Anime Johnny Bravo is working out as a premise, personally speaking.
But it's not even Anime Johnny Bravo. At least Johnny Bravo. The ongoing concept is that Johnny Bravo is kind of cringy. Occasionally he wins, but if you have a comedy, like the main guy can never be happy. It's like Last Man on Earth with Will Forte. Like you can never have this person be happy. But Dark Snyder is like just the coolest guy all the time, according to the thing. Well, I'm watching it as like a near 40-year-old. Joey is a 40-year-old, and we're just going, this is immature bullshit.
It is. It's just straightforward. There's no nuance involved. Like none.
So it's like
maybe we build up to the next scene. If you appreciate it for what it like, if you sold this as like just porn and you don't shy away from what it is, then you can probably appreciate it more. But maybe like it's like if somebody sold me as Debbie Does Dallas and like you need to see this art film, I'd be like, no, that's crap. But if you sell it to me as Debbie Does Dallas, I'm like, okay, like I understand what it's trying to do.
I'm just saying Caligula is better written than this. Like if we're doing one-to-one porn.
I will get that one. It's unfair because at least Caligula, there's a lot of history narrative that you can like kind of write off of. So there's more there. You don't really have to be that creative when it comes to Caligula. This one you did have to be a little creative. The only problem is they don't tie anything together. The only thing tying the story together is the next sex scene.
Well, so yeah, pretty much it. The sex scenes are replacing battles in this. I kind of realized that half of the way through. The women are his conquests. He defeats women. He doesn't defeat bad guys. Occasionally he'll beat a guy, but that's almost an afterthought compared to the sex scenes, which are always right front and center. It's about, even the titles in the closing credits, so it's about the trail of women he's behind him. It's just about this guy being a womanizer and then eventually coming up to catch up with him, which is why I appreciate the mid-season finales against his ex. That makes sense to me. Someone who's been for over 100 years, this would come back and bite him in the ass. And I don't know, I appreciate that arc and that twist in the whole harem anime thing. You don't get to see the dude on the pedestal very often. It's always some dude chasing women. This time women are chasing him, and I kind of feel like that's unique. The show is still not well written, I'll give you that much. But it is what it is. It admits it's garbage and just runs with that. And I really appreciate it for that.
But it's also the suspension of disbelief. So we believe that he's been alive for hundreds of years, right? So why can't he overcome the psyche of this boy?
Just magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah, it's just
exactly. That's what I mean.
Like his body at the end of the day.
He's been around for hundreds of years. He's like had like these numerous women. Hello, Brooklyn.
I don't like the way that came out.
Like there have been numerous women in his life, but suddenly he's going to become good because he suddenly finally found the love of his life in Yoko.
That's the thing. I guess that's the one they want. They think because I don't think he's gonna suddenly become good. I think he's gonna stay an asshole. But of course, they have to give you the carrot to tease you with, like, hey, maybe he'll turn good for this woman. I don't think he will.
I got
at least keep that dragged out for the next like 5 seasons.
I got the spoilers because again, like CJ's massage therapist is a big anime fan. She likes this show.
Just came out. That's awesome. But yeah, every show needs, I guess, its hook, and Yoko is the hook in this case. Because I guess this guy can't stay a womanizer forever. And they even did kind of like this PG cheat thing where he would get close to sex and it just wouldn't happen. Every woman he's been with in the show managed to stay a virgin by the end of the episode. Which is, it's like some kind of weird Mormon porn thing they're doing here. It's like they get close to sex and they just back up a little bit.
Trying to justify why you can stay on Netflix and you don't have to find some weird off-brand streaming platform that you can.
Like this is so they can say, well, it's not porn. He's sucking the poison out of the wound.
they love their camera angles on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. She's sucking the poison out. Get your mind out of the gutter. So they're putting it on your shoulders now. Like you're the perv, even though it's right there in your face.
But never mind that you're right behind the woman sucking the poison out, looking straight up her ass. Like,
yeah.
Brooklyn, upstairs.
Yeah, and while we're talking about this show, she can't hear this. She can't hear any of this.
It is what it is. Like she doesn't understand it anyway. She'll just go back to watching My Little Pony.
Daddy,
you're not watching My Little Pony. No, what are you watching? Nothing. Okay, you're just listening to me.
Just staring at a wall. Just up there and just being paranormal activity up there.
Yep, this creepy child shit. Yeah. All three of you are here together, and there's only two of you.
Yeah.
Well, if she achieves demon possession, at least she's achieved something.
Yeah. On stream, we're just eventually just going to get a jump scare with that one like red painted guy behind you, like Insidious.
Yeah. Yellow eyes.
I forget that guy's name. Was that? I want to say Bagul, but no, that's The Exorcist.
Realistically, how many episodes is Lucian in? Is he in like
Keep him
5, maybe?
Keep him out.
He's just cold watered every single time. It's getting good, and then suddenly a child shows up like, shit, fucking Lucian. All right, fine.
It's because the person who made this, I swear, just has that same like Elon Musk fetish where he just wants to pretend to be a child. Because Joey, if you are not as online as I am, there was a little bit of time where Elon Musk decided to make an account pretending to be a 6-year-old.
I did not know that.
And liked a bunch of porn content.
I have heard that one.
Because that's the world we live in.
Jeez. The Dunning-Kruger effect is in full effect.
But I think there's a good show here. Like, it's... the backhanded compliment I have is this show would be good if it didn't fail at absolutely everything that it set out to do. But
Pre-utilization?
But I like the idea of like you have Shazam, but Shazam's a bad guy. I like the idea that it's like this old tyrant who now just shows up like centuries after he took over, and now all of his underlings are just trying to do their own thing and no one respects him anymore. I do like that concept. I think there's something that you can actually do with that and make it really funny. But overall, the show... It wasn't
centuries, though. They said it was like 15 years.
Oh, I thought it was centuries.
Nope, 15 years.
That's why the priest is
15
still
years
alive.
ago, like it's that long ago.
Just shows how much I care.
See? Now you got to watch it again.
No, I don't.
So
I'll watch the original like 90s OVA where this is literally 3 episodes. Like the 12 episodes that we watched were handled in 90 minutes in the original formatting.
You know, that explains a lot, actually. They are stretching this out. Just keep adding more women to conquer, and you know, you got years of this.
But pretty much 1-to-1, that slime on Yoko was given just as much screen time as on this show.
Yeah, that was
The slime eats clothes because
Then why was it still on her body?
Because it wanted to make sure it had all the clothes.
Okay.
At least the slime did not turn into another hot lady, because that is a thing that people like. People like the slimes turning into hot ladies.
Sure, the slime is still problematic being the slime, but
it's still a slime. It's just shaped differently.
What was the point of the dragon?
It's
little
cool.
Pokemon that follows him around.
Mascot character. You need to sell plushies.
Yeah.
You know, the plushies that you want to sell regarding Bastard.
It's like Orko and He-Man. Remember the show is just supposed to be He-Man. It makes sense. They're just replicating He-Man. If He-Man had more sex, instead of fighting people.
I will say to you both, I will never complain about Demon Slayer being too horny again.
There you go. This is the Nitsuda show. If Nitsuda got its own spin-off, it would be this. It would be Bastard.
No more complaining. No more complaining about Zenitsu. I'm like, okay.
He's tame by comparison.
I know where this can go. You haven't crossed that line yet.
This is the horny dumpster that we are living in and setting on fire.
We are in horny hell. The entire show is just a lust realm, just a lust ring.
This made Attitude Era bra and panty matches just look like PG.
Oh, this is the Val Venus of anime.
Yeah, 100%. And I appreciated him too.
Right down to the voice actor for Dark Snyder kind of sounding like Val Venus on occasion. He's a little bit too whiny. I do not like the voice acting in this show. I just had this realization. Dark Snyder sounds terrible.
Is it because none of them know how to emote at all? Yeah,
this was not like the Funimation crew where you just hear the same voices over and over and over again, because these are experienced professionals. This is like the B team. Like, we got these people off Fiverr.
Like I said, the dude that does Gaara should be narrating a nature documentary instead of telling the exposition of why these fights are going on and why he switched sides for no reason.
At least Gaara is trying. I think Gaara gets the MVP of voice acting on this show.
Yes, he's trying because, again, he doesn't have to emote. That's part of his character. I don't need to feel.
Or maybe Yoko. Yoko's decent. She also has a lot of screen time. But Dark Snyder fucking sucks.
I believe the voice of Lucien was a boy. So, shouldn't that be MVP?
I'm just a little guy.
I believed your character.
I'm just a little guy. I'm a little golden retriever puppy in human form.
I still can't get over that. I'm bathing in the waterfall. Oh, the secret love with that I'm fighting my feelings for. Oh, give you a big naked hug.
She thought he was
overwhelmed.
I can at least understand it a little bit, but yes, it is very clearly this is the mangaka's fetish of I am an innocent little boy and these sexual things happen to me and I have no control over it.
I mean, believe me, I like older women too. My wife's older than I am, so okay, you do you, guy.
Yeah, but do you really envision if only I was 7? No, because you
like
are
on your knees, shake a rattler.
Because you don't need to go to jail.
I mean, you don't go to jail as a 7-year-old.
That's true.
You go to jail by being with the 7-year-old.
You send your wife to jail.
Gives a whole new meaning to that 17 Again movie. Ugh.
So I actually did watch something good. I watched Mars Express. Mars Express is very good.
That was really good. See, I could like both. I can enjoy two things.
I want to get, like, I need to just go to France and get some random French production company to remake Bastard and see if they make it, like, 80 times better than this. Because the French just seem to be doing that over and over again.
I don't want them.
They are better than us, and they do know it.
What, you don't want to go to France?
Oh, I have nothing against going to France. I don't want to see the show.
You don't want to see the show? You don't want to see this French show?
If this show wants to embrace what it is and star Angela White, then fine. Like, go ahead.
It should.
Like, it's like, okay, like, embrace what you are. Be up for a couple AVN awards. Go all out with whatever a big budget for porn is. Like, go nuts.
There are way too many anime fans in porn. I will say that.
Wait a minute. So, which way are you, like, there's way too many porn fans that are involved in anime? Or are you saying
like
there's
most porn stars are anime fans?
Yeah, there are a lot of porn stars who are anime fans.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean,
and like, they know more about it than I do, which freaks me out sometimes.
The one thing I appreciate from doing this show with you both is that, like, I understand that anime is not just a niche. It's a much more far-reaching genre than I ever gave it credit for. But
they're on some sentimental music right now. Joey learned a thing. That's what it was all about, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all about expanding horizons.
I feel empathy for people who like crap. That's right.
This is all about just spreading out that Overton window like some sort of awful goatsy.
Oh, God, don't mention goats, because Bastard will put one of them in there, too. And then we'll have a goat scene.
An implied goat scene.
Oh, my. That's right.
Always implied.
We're not showing you the donkey show. We're just telling you there's one.
We'll make you imagine it. You could hear it. You could hear it in donkey
Clerks, too.
Yeah.
I will say the benefit of this show as well is there is a better version of this show in existence. Just play The Witcher. That's all you need to do. It has a harem. It has a guy who's kind of a jerk. It doesn't have him turning into a child.
Isn't it also Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? Couldn't you also...
Not really. More The Witcher, because the guy also has white hair. He's not a mage, though. He's kind of a warrior guy. But no one wants your main character to be an all-powerful wizard. Your wizard basically just acts as like a glass cannon, just like a mobile nuke in like D&D stuff.
Merlin is like,
no, I want Dark Schneider beats Geralt all day. Dark Schneider over Geralt all day. If The Witcher was honest, it would be Bastard.
Well, you can write Henry Cavill a nicely worded letter asking him to be in your live action remake of Bastard.
He would do it. Don't. I guarantee you, Henry Cavill would do this show. Because if you can show him looking all cut and ripped, being a ladies' man, when we already know like what kind of genre he's a fan of this kind of stuff anyway.
Make it happen.
No.
Make it happen. Turns into Finn Wolfhard or whatever.
What was the movie that Frank Miller directed? Not Sin City. The Spirit. That's what this is. Like where we were like, when you watch The Spirit and you're like, is Frank Miller just masturbating on screen?
Yeah.
I think that was Tony's joke that you told me initially when you saw it. And then I watched him like, yeah, like, because he just fawns over every single woman that's on screen. So it's like, and dresses them as provocatively as possible. That's what I feel the animator did with this show. Or whatever writer did with the show.
I enjoyed the spirit for those very reasons. It's one of the greatest cast of all time. That movie. Spirit, Sucker Punch, Bastard in the same box set.
No, you need to put Sky Captain, The World of Tomorrow in there as well if you want to have black and white movies that suck.
That's not the theme. The theme isn't the sucking.
Black and white nerdy movies that suck.
In theory,
that's what it says on the box.
The sucking, so I mean, let's be honest here. Again, our critique of this show is it's not honest with itself. Or maybe it is.
I think it's too honest with itself.
It's very honest. It's
very honest.
It invites you to a house party. It's just sitting there in its underwear. It's like you didn't put in any effort.
Like you didn't see the pineapple on the door. Like why?
At least open a bag of chips. Just put it next to the bowl.
Want some popcorn?
Bastard.
Ew. The show's actually gaining grades for just like laughing about it right now.
Oh,
it went from a quarter point to a half a point just because this.
You cannot take this show seriously at all. It's a joke. It's a meme.
The problem is, if I want to watch a show that's a joke, I'll just watch JoJo's, and that also has people named after bands.
Yeah, it's fair, but I feel like JoJo is more overt with the comedy. There's things that are like, they tell you when to laugh. This, I'm laughing at it more often. This is almost accidentally funny, but I feel like they're doing it on purpose. This is so bad it's good funny.
I feel like this show was satirical. I don't feel like this show is making fun of itself.
That's fair. It is kind of satirical, but I feel like it's a lot more low-key and subdued if it's satirical nature than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It is very much on the nose, in your face, jiggling your balls and cherries in its mouth, kind of like it's being gross on purpose. It's making sure you know it's being gross. This, it's acting like it's taking itself seriously, and in taking itself seriously, it's funny.
You can't jiggling the balls.
That's what I remember. I remember JoJo. Is that one gif of the guy licking the cherries? I'm like, yeah, that's JoJo's, all right.
Like bastards asking us, "Am I fondling you enough? Do you need a finger in the hole?"
Yeah, Bastard is funny in that it takes itself seriously, so it's funny.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna cry.
So
JoJo's is more kung pao funny. Bastard is whatever.
God damn.
But I still think the show would be better if it actually just went full comedy. Like there's another ecchi anime that's porn adjacent. It's called Golden Boy. And Golden Boy is very good. But the ongoing concept is that the main character sucks. Like this is someone who the ongoing thing is that he wants to be kind of the best at everything, but deep down he's incredibly stupid. So like he'll apply for a software company and get a job and say how he's actually good at computers because he taught himself how to keyboard on a piece of cardboard. Not understanding that there's no actual like computer there.
Board involved.
And the ongoing joke is that no, this guy sucks, and eventually he like becomes like Blind Squirrel Finds a Nut every once in a while, where he does something that actually impresses the hot lady, but by then he's gone on. He never gets happy. Like he doesn't get with the ladies, and that works a lot better than this show does, where everyone just kind of wants him. And I don't care if like, oh well, we never truly see the money shot. We don't see loads get blown. We don't see anything beyond the joke of the cum this show is just not funny. It's not my problem with it. You need to, if you want to be a comedy and you want to have these self-aware things about how this is a shonen manga and how that, like, oh, I'm the main character of this piece, and have all these, like, weird self-aware jokes that most anime save for, like, the previews of the next episode. That's when they're allowed to be self-aware. This is your preordained, like, self-awareness spot.
Yeah.
Then you need to actually be funny, and it fails at that. It fails at action because none of the actual fights are fun to watch, and I'm not even putting this up against Demon Slayer. I'm putting this up against, like, the next thing that we're watching, which was made in the 90s and is not very good action wise. A lot of people just, like, posing and fighting each other, but it's still more enthralling than this. And
what was the worst? What, like, in your opinion? Because we've watched a lot of shonen. What anime that we've watched did fights the worst? Is it this?
It might be this or Uzumaki, but we didn't do Uzumaki altogether. But Uzumaki like also had major
Star Wars
Visions
problems. Had some bad ones.
Yeah. I didn't say Uzumaki. There weren't any fights in Uzumaki, so I can't really even compare that.
There are people kind of punching each other, and then it just kind of clips away. And
well, if we're putting Uzumaki in there, then it's Uzumaki. Those are barely fights. Those are not memorable at all.
But yeah, this might have the worst action of the like action focused things.
Right off the bat.
This is why I felt the action was an afterthought. The action was supposed to be an afterthought. And even the bad voice acting, like the bad lip syncing, come on, the show is a joke.
Like, I mean, that like right away, like, oh no, he knows the venom spell. Oh no, he's gonna do this. Like,
they have to explain every single action. It's I know. I got on board immediately. Oh, you're making fun of shonen. You're making fun of shonen from the 80s. Okay, now I'm on board. Yes, every character wants to sleep with this character. Like watching a Voltron, and how there was that one girl, but the bad guy was always trying to get in her pants, despite it being a kid show. That's what this reminded me of. Every 80s animated show was just that for the entire period. If there's a girl there, the bad guy's gonna want to sleep with her, and that's what this show kind of just took it back to. Like, yeah, of course it's rapey. That's what they did in the 80s. They just kind of rapes. Yeah. Never said bad animes.
Yeah, but even like the Super Mario Brothers movie does that better because they make the joke that Bowser just wants to marry Peach. Like that's what sets off the chain events. That's why he wants to take over with the star. But I mean, it's not so ridiculously over the top. It's just a funny joke that this monster wants the princess.
I know I am far too old when you said the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I thought of the Bob Hoskins one. So I'm like, what I was thinking. What, Dennis Hopper?
I don't remember him licking anybody in that movie. I don't know.
Did he want to marry Samantha Mathis?
He needed her to like open a dimensional portal.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because he hit her father in ooze or something stupid.
That's when it started like simplifying plots. But a movie like, say, Krull, like, it's just the bad guy is supposed to sleep with this princess, so we have to stop the bad guy from sleeping with that princess. That's the entire plot of the movie. That's it. That's the motivation. And that's the show Bastard. That's it.
Lovingly rendered anime butts. The mangaka's definitely a butt guy.
They can. Yes. I'll say they can draw. That's fine. Like, they're definitely up there with the dude in high school that would like draw pictures in class and be like, "Hey, it's a pretty good drawing of naked chicks."
Yeah.
I just really like these like loose fitting dresses.
Horny teenager.
Everyone who's not in a loose fitting dress eventually needs to be in a loose fitting dress. That is my rule.
As someone, and this is going to be it's a terrible comparison, but as someone who appreciates Mad Max Fury Road, I appreciate the straightforward, nuanceless nature of this. It's just, here's what it is. Stop looking for anything else. It's a nothing burger. It's a big nothing burger. Just enjoy your nothing burger to be happy. There's no subtext in this whatsoever. Like, they don't even need to be explaining everything to you as it happens. It's obvious. Like, everything is so in your face and blatant. It's like a shonen. Yeah, it does its job.
So, obviously, we judge anime on a 7-star scale, stolen from Super Eye Patch Wolf. Of one is completely insulting to my intelligence. 2 is bad, but you can see the good in it. You can see that it has a heart of gold. 3 is I am starting to say not a general I liked it statement. It's more I didn't feel robbed. Like you didn't feel that this was a complete waste of time. 4 is good, but with bad qualities that you just like have sitting in your head that you just can't get rid of. 5, good for the genre. 6, exemplary for the genre. And 7 is so good it has redefined what good is. So, Marlon, you will probably be the highest
7.
of our scores.
I know it should be a 7. I'm giving it a 7 for the enjoyment factor. Like, technically, this is like a 3, especially if the way you just described those rankings. But for me, it's a 7.
You're just ruining the average on this one.
It's ruining the average because I know how low you're going to score it already. I'm putting in a 7 right now.
Yeah, I end up giving this a 1. Like, I thought about giving it a 2, but overall, I can't give a show that fails at everything it sets out to do any higher. And I would rather watch Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, than I would watch this. Because at least that had good fights in it.
I would agree.
I disagree there. I'm not on Jujutsu Kaisen train. At least this gives me a reason to keep watching, like the reason I watch NXT or AEW. But Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't even have that. So
eventually, we will have to watch like season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen because we only watch the movie. Because we should give it a fair shot when we talk shit about it, literally every episode.
Fine, should give it context.
But not next time. So Joey, what's your score for Bastard?
I mean, in Marlon's defense, if this show would just straight up call itself porn and acknowledge what it is, I would give it a 6 or a 7 because I'm like, at least they tried to put story into it, but in the end, it's just porn. But no, they tried to justify it as this fantasy story. It gets a 1.
Yeah.
If you don't call yourself what you are, if you deny what you are, don't ask people.
It's not denying. It's just giving you a bit of space for surprise. It's just a little bit of respect as a viewer. And hey, invite you to come watch this thing. Surprise, it's porn. It doesn't you right off the
You didn't in that sentence, Martin. You didn't need to say of this thing. You could have just say it invites you to come.
Subtlety.
There is none.
None to be found.
So our next
that could be the subtitle of this show, Bastard, the absence of subtlety.
So I gave Joey options on this next go around just because I figured that we would my choices were thus, and this was the reason for them. So the first option was Outlaw Star, because Outlaw Star is technically an ecchi harem anime. I think it's good. So it's the ability for this genre to redeem itself, or see at least a good one. The second one was Black Lagoon, the pirate modern day anime thing, which I have never seen, so figure just go in blind to something that people say is good. That was not chosen. We ended up choosing Outlaw Star. And the third option was, let's see if Netflix can redeem itself, because I looked at a lot of lists of the best anime on Netflix, and there were very, very high marks for Violet Evergarden, which is a very sad, like, lady show about war. And Joey did not choose that. So next time we are watching the first half of Outlaw Star.
All right.
Can't, like, in Netflix's defense, you can't hate Demon Slayer as much as you hated this show.
I don't hate Demon Slayer as much as this show.
Okay.
Demon Slayer generally gets 3s from me. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
And Demon Slayer, like, its first season I gave very high marks. My problem with Demon Slayer is more that it showed potential, and then it's been the law of diminishing returns ever since.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is basically Westworld to me at this point, where like every ongoing season just kind of gets a little bit worse.
But do you blame Netflix for that, or do you just blame?
I blame the story of Demon Slayer for it. I think that they stopped taking risks after the first season, or technically after the second season, because the second season's Mugen Train. But I think they just gave themselves a big pat on the back after killing off the Fire Hashira, and then they've been sitting on their laurels the entire time beyond that.
I would agree. Just counting their money.
But they've been trying to drag it out, it feels like.
But we'll get a Demon Slayer movie pretty soon here. We also get season 2 of Kaiju number 8 later in the summer.
Yeah.
That's a good one for you people who like plot. Like character development.
Just show me more butts.
Just watch. It's just the horniest season of Kaiju number 8. The mushroom guy becomes more of a mushroom guy.
Like the disturbing animation, sitting there groping each other.
Which Ghost in the Shell was just best.
The worst of every world.
But yeah, we get to go back to the 90s. Outlaw Star, I think, was 98 was when it came out. So
sure. I was gonna say 97, but I don't remember.
But it's but there are two things that you will notice probably, Joey. One, they do reuse animation quite a bit. So if in fight scenes you will see it's like, oh, that looked really cool, and then you'll see it again a couple times. It's like, oh, that's how they saved money.
When you said Josh Whedon and Guardians of the Galaxy director, whose name is escaping me for whatever reason.
Both Joss Whedon and James Gunn have said that they like Outlaw Star.
That makes sense given that like Serenity then
it's straight up Outlaw Star. Firefly's
came
Outlaw
out
Star.
right after this, so that like you said, it was like a kind of a harem movie. It's kind of what Firefly kind of was for a little bit.
Firefly outright steals the girl in the box plot line from Outlaw Star.
There you go.
Yeah, it's honestly why I watched Firefly. I just thought it was an adaptation.
Why am I getting my hopes up? Don't get your hopes up, Joe.
And the theme song is much better. The theme song gets me hyped at least.
I'll see.
The ending theme does not. It's like on a harpsichord. It's very sad.
Yeah.
But
there's an era of sad ending themes.
But Marlon, I'm going to kind of leave this to a vote between the two of us because Joey doesn't really know. So I don't know how much you remember of Outlaw Star, but the show itself is 26 episodes. And episode 13 is kind of a comedy episode. It's kind of midway. It's after the big galactic race that they have. But episode 15 is probably the best fight in the entire anime, arguably the best episode of the anime. Do you think we should watch up to episode 15 just so we are able to talk about that before we go into the second part of the season, or should we save it for the second part of the season?
Ooh. Well, I don't want to rush ahead. I mean, do you think we'll definitely be talking about the second half of the season? Do you feel like Joey will be on board and we'll definitely do it?
I will force us to talk about the second half of the season because even if we get up to episode 15, we don't go into the pro wrestling episode. We don't go into the episode where things get really weird in the finale and people turn into butterflies. Like, there's a lot that this show has going for it that I will force us to get through, regardless.
All right. Then yeah, we could probably do 13 and 13 then.
Okay.
And save that bit.
Oh, you merciful Lord, dude.
You don't need to watch 15 episodes, Joey. Be happy. You only need to watch 13, but Outlaw Star, I believe, is both on Crunchyroll and on Hulu. So if you if you feel like watching it with commercials, all of the commercials, you can watch it on Hulu. But yeah, that was Bastard. It sucked.
Yeah. The greatest anime of all time.
By giving it a 7, you gave the average of it on this show to a 3. You did. You got it to I didn't feel robbed.
About where it should be anyway.
Bully me every time I'd have to like turn on the next episode. Like, God, I hate you both.
Just like
have to accept that the sex
there was
is
a lot
the show.
of bad
Fighting is
mouthing
Dragon Ball
Marlon.
Z, sex is bastard. That's the show. That's what you're
There was a lot of Marlon bad mouthing every time I started new episodes. Like, oh, damn it.
You think you're gonna have sex again?
Oh, there actually was a very audible in my house. Like, again, like when she goes and hugs. No, it wasn't that one. It was when like the one underling to Empress Nay decides she's going to like fight on the side of Dark Schneider because she was suddenly in love with him. There was a loud in my house. God damn it, Marlon.
I like my garbage. I like either my hoity-toity bullshit or my garbage. There's no middle ground with me. I don't do.
Why did you suddenly save his life for no freaking reason? Because I love it.
Because everyone's gotta love Dark Schneider. Everyone.
Well, for March and April, we'll be doing Outlaw Star. After that, we'll obviously figure something out. Marlon, if you want to do a bonus episode at some point, we can figure out something to watch. I don't think there's much out because even Sakamoto Days is currently getting pretty good reviews on Netflix, but Sakamoto Days seems like something we'd want to get Joey into.
Right.
So there's that. And then we have, like I said, we have Kaiju number 8 coming up. We have Demon Slayer movies coming up. Eventually we need to get... go ahead.
Apparently there's a final Attack on Titan movie that just came out. It's still in theaters because I just noticed it yesterday. I didn't know it was ending.
I need to watch Attack on Titan.
I know. We need to talk about fascism.
DJ's massage therapist really wants me to watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that after Outlaw Star. We'll watch something that's very happy and about friendship, and then switch over to about how giants are. Anyway, like
the Jews,
stand-ins for.
The gypsies are coming.
Oh, it is a very fascist anime, Joey. It
is. Japan sure loves Germany.
But they have one of the Titans that's like very much just Brock Lesnar. It's just made to look like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So maybe that will be May. Otherwise, we'll give Jujutsu Kaisen a try. Because
oh boy, this will be all right. Interesting couple of months.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Worst comes to worst, I'll just make everyone watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. We'll just stick in the 90s and never leave. Never leave the 90s. After the 2000s were a mistake, let's just stay here during the recession. Alrighty, I'm hitting the stop stream button.